The trigger latch, that's what we call the latch that we use on all our injection molded cases. The cool thing with that trigger latch is so easy to get into, but we also have a way to lock it. And we are, I believe, the only case company in the world that has a latch that's lockable that's accepted by the TSA, the Transportation Security Administration.
Right.
Where it's got this symbol and they recognize it in the airport. So if they want to get in it and inspect it, they have special keys and they won't pop the locks. We make a lot of golf cases. And what we found after 9/11 is we were having huge amounts of requests for replacement latches. This is our old latch before we had the TSA latch. And what would happen is people would play golf and the nitrites in the fertilizer, which is how they make a fertilizer bomb, would set off alarms in the airport. And so they'd go in with a screwdriver and they'd bust the locks off. And then they'd tape the case back up. Oh, it's just golf clubs again. And we would get the warranty claim. So that was really part of the reasoning behind that, is a way that we, like people, our stuff is designed to travel. It's designed to fly. So if someone's going to go through the airport, the security people can open the thing up and inspect it without destroying it. The housing that the trigger latch goes into is regrind from our guitar case. It's really great material. It costs us very little. But the latch itself and the mechanical parts that are made out of plastic are molded out of a material called fiberglass reinforced nylon. And it's tough enough to beat on with hammers without breaking it. And to give a little demonstration, okay, I hit that thing as hard as I could with this friggin' hammer, and you can't even tell. Try that with one of our Chinese copies and see what happens. We're not seeing any of them come back here, period.
We have fewer warranty claims with those than
Like
we ever
none.
did with the metal latch. And you know, it was a very long process to develop that latch. It certainly wasn't the first one that we came out with. It's about 4th or 5th generation.
Being made out of nylon, we don't have to worry about plating, which is really bad for the environment. There's a lot of real nasty chemicals involved in that, and the black color stays in there forever. This is actually not finished because it doesn't have the handle on it yet, but it's going to become a watertight laptop case for the Army. And what I wanted you to see is that the mold that we make this on is this baby right here. It weighs 8,000 pounds. It costs about $100,000. And to move the thing around, we have this 5-ton crane where they'll actually lift the thing up and over the top, and they put it in that big machine there. It's a Van Dorn 700-ton injection molder. That means it has 700 tons of clamp pressure. To give you an idea, your hydraulic reservoir in your car is a little bottle that's maybe like that to work your brakes to make your car stop. The hydraulic reservoir in this machine is this tank up here. It holds 550 gallons of hydraulic fluid, which is forced through these big cylinders here to give it that 700 tons of clamp pressure to make this little laptop case here. In order to compete out in the world today, we had to get really good at jigs and fixtures. We make things like this right here, this assembly fixture for this laptop case. And basically one guy loads all the hardware, pushes the pedal, and the thing gets put together right here all at once. There's very little labor in it compared to the kinds of products we used to make just 10 or 15 years ago. In the old days, when we made something like this, we'd have a guy forming, trimming, bending the aluminum, riveting. We might have 15 people making a product like this, and today we have 2. We pulled all the labor out of it, which has made us really competitive on a global stage while making everything right here in Orange, California. Okay, then finally, Jocelyn here is putting in the pressure relief valve, which allows the case to breathe. It's still completely watertight. It's just if you didn't have a case that could breathe, if you opened it up in an airplane, when you landed and you got back in the lower atmosphere, you wouldn't be able to get the thing open. So she puts the valve in, she inspects the O-ring seal, and installs it into the groove there, and that's it. And we had some really good mentoring. You know, we knew Leo Fender back in the old days when he was doing G&L, and we'd work with him. And I remember I'd hear from Hartley Peavy every once in a while, and I would just hang on every word that he said.
Hartley Peavy's a great inspiration. He really is a guy that knows how to motivate you just with a few words. And he kind of mentored us in a few years when it was really difficult for us, and I'd like to thank him for that.
Steve and I, we've been best friends since we were kids, and you see a lot of business partners, you know, when you have to work alongside of somebody like 17 hours a day when we started this place, and you don't have any money, and you wonder why you did it in the first place. And we've just had a way of encouraging each other, getting along sensationally. We really haven't had a fight since we were in the garage.
And you can't blame us then. It was pretty miserable back then.
He hit me in the jaws one day at night so hard I couldn't chew for a week, but I deserved it.
Yeah, I don't even remember that. You know, I only remember the good times.
But it's been 31 years and we get along great, you know.